Hi guys, welcome to my Foxy channel. So we're not going to call this a tips, tricks, and tablespoons. We're not going to call this an in the gym with Krim because we're not in the gym with Krim, but we are in. Let's see if we can adjust this. We're in my bedroom. Well, part of my bedroom. It's like actually part of my office. But yeah, so I wanted to pop on, and I hadn't been on in what's it been, like just over a week. And I just wanted to pop on and do a little video, a little vlog, let you guys know how everything went with my steroid shot. I wanted to talk to you guys about a couple of things, and yeah, I just thought I'd pop on and do that. If you haven't already, please like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. If you find any of my videos helpful, I'm sure others out there will find them helpful as well. Please feel free to share. Where do I start? So my steroid shot was a week ago yesterday, and I have noticed I would say around a 30% difference in my pain, as well as the tingling that I was experiencing in my hip and back. So if you didn't already know, I had been having pain for some time, like a substantial amount of time, and doctors had told me it was my hip. And so for like 2 or 3 years I thought it was my hip, even though I thought it was my back initially, and then it turned out it was my back, and I have 3 bulging discs. And I believe it's like my L5, L4, and L3, or L4, L3 to L2. No, yeah, L5, L5, 4 and 3. I can't speak. All bulging. And I had already gone through physical therapy, which did help to an extent. But I just kept having flare-ups, and I don't like having these flare-ups because they take me down, for like a week or 2 at a time. And so I was sick of it. So I finally was like, okay, we got to figure this out. Something's going on. They found that. Anyway, steroid shot on Mondays where I was, and I've noticed a difference. It's very minimal, very minimal. It just, I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to explain what I've been through with it. So it's kind of like there's nothing you can really do. I'm going to apologize. I did just try to receive a phone call from somebody, and I just didn't want to answer it because I answered one earlier trying to get this video started, and it just keeps backfiring on me. So I can't just pause my videos. Apparently my phone won't let me do that. With that said, I last week had tried to play around with my camera a little bit. I think I figured out what's going on. After the holidays, I'm going to try to do a couple videos with it, and we're just going to do some practice runs. Yeah. And with me being down last week, after the shot, I took it easy that whole week. I did walking, but mostly just did my typical chores around the house, which is actually a lot of steps because I have a basement as well as an upstairs. So I'm going up and down the stairs consistently throughout my day. And I'm usually on my feet most of the day. So, yeah. So, steroid shot, doing okay. Camera, we're figuring it out. We're gonna get it, guys. I promise. And we'll get back into it. And I think as far as my vlogs, we're going to kind of keep with what we've been doing. The In the Gym with Krim will probably be a permanent thing. It may change, like maybe I'll change the titles, you know, In the Gym with Krim, the tricep series, the biceps, you know what I mean? We'll figure it out as we go. The tips, tricks, and tablespoons, I also intend on keeping those going. After the new year, I have a couple ideas actually already written out. I believe I had mentioned that. I I'm going to have to redo the yogurt vlog, but I'm going to show you guys how I do my yogurt bowls. I'm going to show you guys how I make my homemade pancakes, the ones I do currently. I am also going to show you guys my favorite way to do my cream of rice and my oatmeals, things that I can show you all and implement things that are healthier choices. You'd never know the difference. You would think they were delicious treats, like dessert treats. Or we can do some savory things. And then, yeah, I'm going to show you guys like the basics, you know, show you what I eat, different tips and things that can, you guys can implement into your, recipes or your diet. So yeah, we're going to get there. And then, I will probably still continue to do little random pop-ins, you know, like I did with my soap making. I also have a lot of plants around the house. As you all know, if you've been following me for a while, you know I have pets. So I thought about even doing a series where we follow the animals around. I know that Cleo would, out of all the animals in this house, she has got quite a personality. So she could entertain people all day long. And if you guys could just feel her fur through the screen, she's like a chinchilla. She's so soft. Like, she already doesn't look like a normal cat to me because her eyes are so misplaced, like an alien or something. She's the strangest looking cat, but her fur is just the softest ever. Anyway, so I'm thinking about doing stuff like that. Yeah, and then with the weather being cooler, I haven't been going on walks, so I haven't done my shorts. The reason for that is because when my body gets cold, really cold, I tend to hold tension in my lower back, and I'm trying to not have pain there right now. So I've avoided my walks because I know that that's not going to help me heal, and that I've been just walking on the treadmill. So it's not the walking that's not going to help me heal. Walking is great. You want to walk to heal, but it's that cold weather. So I know I'll be able to get out there in it. It's just I don't want to do it right now when I'm just in the middle of, or at the beginning rather, of trying to get that figured out. So yeah, so that's what's going on. And then I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about something that I kind of find really, really important for, well, I think everyone should be aware of it. I really do. Everybody probably has someone in their life that has a gluten deficiency. Even you yourself might have a gluten deficiency. And a lot of people go, I can eat pasta, I can eat bread, it's fine, I don't have any problems. Well, I hate to tell you. So I have found over the last 5 years, since I've been diagnosed with Hashimoto's thyroid, that most of us out there that have a thyroid issue have a gluten deficiency. And if you don't, you're probably lactose intolerant. Did you know that? You might want to get some research in. It's really important for you to know what your body is telling you and what's actually going on. So a lot of people will go through life and they feel like maybe they have depression or they're just having those waves of whatever, and they brush it off. I'll feel better tomorrow. I mean, that might be true. You might feel better tomorrow. But a lot of the, like the brain fog that you're feeling, that heaviness, that feeling of just being off, no energy, just that could be gluten. It could be a thyroid issue. It could be an autoimmune deficiency. It could be all kinds of things. And I recommend that you go and you talk to a physician. So for me, it took a while to find somebody to help me with a lot of my issues. And literally it has taken me 6 doctors to actually compile all the different things I have going on, because each doctor found something different. And it's ridiculous because you go in and you tell them the issues you have and you yourself wonder if this is what's going on. And it takes 4 or 5 doctors to finally listen to you. And I've been there, and I understand why a lot of people don't like talking to doctors. With that said, because why would you want to go to a doctor if you're not going to get listened to and be respected? You're the patient. So having information under your belt and basically forcing them to understand where you're coming from and demanding an understanding. And if that doctor cannot help you, or they just want to prescribe you medicine right away without listening to what's going on, you need to find another doctor. And don't be afraid to find a nurse practitioner. I have a nurse practitioner right now, and if it wasn't for her, I don't know where I'd be. She's the one that was like, no, we need to get you in for an MRI. We need to get you into an endocrinologist. We need, and she's, if you're not feeling good, we need to figure out what's going on. And we found all kinds of issues going on with me over time. And it's just silliness. One of the issues that I found, so I swallow a lot. You guys have probably seen that. I thought I had something going on with my thyroid, like worse than what was already diagnosed. And so my doctor's like, how does this feel? Talking to me. It took us a little time. We found out that I have acid reflux. And it's making my throat like feel burny. Like it literally feels like somebody just burned my throat. So, and it's my acids. And right now I'm swallowing a lot because I forgot to take my pill for the last couple of days. So, yeah, I kind of suck at that. I hate taking medicine. I don't like it. I can take my levothyroxine every morning. I take it, I wake up, I have an alarm that wakes me up early, like 2 hours before I normally would get up, to get up and take my pill. Sometimes even 3 hours before, to get up and take that pill. So that way, when I wake up in the morning, I can have my coffee. And then in an hour, I can have breakfast if I want. I don't have to wait 4 hours, because it's been ridiculous. I've been trying to figure out a way to eat breakfast, because I can't have anything with the calcium. If you take levothyroxine, guys, stay away from calcium. And by the way, calcium's in everything. I don't understand why. According to my dietitian, it's things are fortified with it. Things don't always just have it, especially vegan yogurts. They have to be fortified with it, and it's just ridiculous. I cannot seem to find things that don't have calcium. So I basically was starving for 4 hours every morning after taking my pill because I couldn't eat. And I was just done. I can't do that. Especially as a bodybuilder or someone who consistently works out, that's just not safe. It's not healthy. Don't recommend it ever. So, yeah. I'm kind of digressing. I'm kind of sidetracking a little here. Gluten deficiencies. You don't realize how sensitive our bodies are to gluten. So, you might notice discomfort once in a while, and maybe you just never thought about what's causing it. Maybe I overate, maybe I ate something too spicy, something, right? Didn't sleep well, something's making me feel off. There's always excuses. There's a really good chance you have a gluten problem. I never would have thought it was gluten. I was eating 2 pieces of bread, of toast, the Sara Lee diet bread, which is trash. I'm sure it's made out of sawdust. I was eating 2 of those every afternoon with my lunch, and I would have pasta at least once a week, and then I would have toast sometimes in the morning with my breakfast, depending on my mood, or some kind of bread, something. And then every month, my family, we used to go to a cookie place. So all of y'all out there like crumble cookie, which I think is not a cookie. I think they're cake. I think they're trash. I always preferred Crave cookie, which is sad because they seem to not doing as well as they should be. And to me, they're a way superior cookie, not cake. And there is a fine line, guys. So enjoy your cake crumble, but it's cake, not a cookie. It's too fluffy. Cookies are not fluffy. Cookies can be chewy. They can be crunchy, crispy. Please. Anyway, so we'd go to my Crave cookie because Crave is the best. Not a sponsor. I legit think they're the best. And we would get things. We'd go out there and we'd get cookies for everybody, to kind of spoil ourselves, doing well with our diets and stuff like that. And every once in a while, I'd feel a few times a month, even more than a few times, I would feel these waves. and I could not climb out of it. It'd be like 4 or 5 days of just feeling like crap. I would have brain fog, low energy. I'd be grumpy. I would just feel sluggish. And I could not, for the life of me, figure out what was going on. And my dietitian, because I took on a dietitian a while back because between my doctor and I, we couldn't figure out everything that was going on with my body. It was just so much. And being a woman that's nearly 50 years old, I've already the perimenopause thing's already happened. I'm already doing these things. I'm missing an ovary. That's something a lot of you don't know. I'm missing an ovary. So my body went into an early menopause, early perimenopause, and I went through it in my 30s. Can you believe that? So I started menopause in my 30s, and I was full blown, like almost done in my early 40s, mid 40s. And so in my mid 40s, was not producing estrogen or progesterone anymore. It was just, I wasn't producing any of it. And so they've had to put me since on hormone stuff, because that also was causing all these fluxes and waves, and I've just been through it. My body's been through it. And my dietitian's like, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this. The gluten thing, the minute I tried it, I noticed within the first 2 weeks, the energy difference, my gut. Oh my gosh. I never would have thought it was gluten, guys. Not ever. And don't get me wrong. I love my bread. Fresh baked bread. Pizza. All of it. I love it all. But I found substitutes. And most of which are extremely healthy. Like pastas. I love a good red lentil pasta or a mung bean pasta. I'm not a big fan of a lot of the chickpea pastas. I feel like they don't hold their structure. They just turn to mush too easily. But yeah, and they've got high protein. The ones I like have high protein. Chickpea does too. If you like chickpea, you do you. They have protein. They're good for you. And most of them cook up, even the brown rice pastas, cook up pretty much like pasta. So the brown rice pasta, in my opinion, is kind of sticky and gummy. So I like it, but I really have to know what kind of pasta I'm going to be using, and what I'm doing with that meal. Because if I'm going to feel the texture or anything like that, I'm not going to eat it. If I'm doing a baked mac and cheese, not doing it. I'm going to use a lentil pasta or something like that. If I'm doing spaghetti, I might, because you can kind of get away with it with the marinara sauces and maybe some meatballs, ground beef, whatever you choose to put in there. But yeah, and then bread. So luckily, most grocery stores where I live have gluten-free breads. The one closest to me, however, does not offer very many gluten-free options of any sort. They have gluten-free cake mix. They had a couple of those, a cupcake and a cake. And then they had a cornbread or something like that didn't have gluten, which you would think cornbread mixes wouldn't have gluten in them, but folks, they do. And gluten is wheat flour, bran, and rye. And you don't have to have celiacs to have a gluten deficiency. You can have a thyroid issue or just be human. Some people just have a sensitivity to gluten. And gluten likes to attack our microbiomes, our tummy, our gut health, our everything. And if that gut is angry, the rest of you is going to suffer. And I recommend that you try just a test run, a gluten-free run. You got to go a couple weeks because you got to give your body a chance to kind of flush through. I recommend drinking a little bit more water than you normally would to kind of help it flush. There are plenty of options out there. Now, with that said, I have a family that likes to go out to eat once a week. And since I have figured out that I have a gluten problem, we've had problems finding places to eat because a lot of places don't seem to really care about people with gluten problems. They don't really care. It's not their problem. With that said, that's disrespectful. There are a lot of us out there, a lot of us, whether you have celiacs whether you have Hashimoto's or whatever you have that's causing your gluten issues, you have the right to have an option at every restaurant you go to. And at this point in time, there are so many gluten-free options out there. There's no reason restaurants, gas stations that offer food shouldn't have a gluten-free option. And I'm not talking just one thing. Come on, guys. A gluten-free bun for hamburgers? How hard is it? They're everywhere. A gluten-free hot dog bun. If they can do a hamburger bun, they can do hot dog buns. Gluten-free pita, gluten-free naan bread, gluten-free pastas. They're all available. And gluten-free muffins. And like, I don't think it's fair to anybody to have to sit there and bring their own food into a restaurant, or to have to worry about getting sick, seriously sick, from eating something because a restaurant isn't paying attention to the importance of that diet or of that person. And, you know, you're looking at lawsuits, people. Like, more and more of us are coming out of the woodwork, and I think it's very important to be aware that every customer could be a potential health problem, health risk. Whether it's like a crawfish thing, a peanut thing, wheat, rye, barley, I don't care. You guys need to pay attention. You know, I know people that can't have soy at all. Soy in their diet at all. Like, I can't have certain things. Excuse me. I've also noticed I have sensitivities to sunflower. And I love sunflower. Sunflower butter is like my favorite thing in the world. But if there's like sunflower, like what's it called? Lethian that's in things. I've noticed that if I eat that and I eat it more than once a day in something, like whatever it may be, I can get really sick. It's made my stomach sick. I've even gotten nauseous off of like eating too much of something. Sorry guys, I have cotton mouth and my throat is very dry and a little crusty because I haven't taken my acid reflux. So I'm feeling it right now. But anyways, so I want to get that out there. I think it's so important to know whether your body is denying gluten, some form of gluten, or maybe it's a dairy product or a byproduct. So another thing that I've noticed with people is, especially my friends that have been vegan, I'm not saying that veganism is unhealthy. It's not. I think eating vegan is looked at and perceived as being a healthy diet. I have taken nutrition classes, dietitian classes. I actually have been studying for about 2 years now. And from all the research and things, yeah, fruits and veggies are super healthy. Does that mean that the vegan diet is healthy? Absolutely not. Unless you know how to fit in the right vitamins and minerals into your diet to keep and sustain your human body in a good regulation, you should not be just vegan. I understand 100% wanting to be animal everything. I love animals. I love it. I was vegan for a while. I was vegetarian for a really big portion of my life. But then looking back, I'm like, oh, well, that's why I had fluctuations in my energy. That's why I felt like shit all the time. I was not getting proper vitamins. I was getting way high amounts of salt because, let's face it, guys, vegan foods are processed, almost all of them. So you're getting high amounts of salt and processed foods, and then your veggies and fruits are kind of lying in this thing. So if you're not eating proteins like meats, like red meats and pork or chicken, specifically red meats and chicken, you need B12. Your B vitamins are important. A lot of people don't realize how important they are. And they think that, oh, I can go out and eat this and this vegan food and this vegan food at this restaurant, and I'm going to get those vitamins implemented. No, you're not. You're absolutely not. You're getting a lot of seasoning, but you're not getting B12. You're not getting B6. You're not getting B3. You're not getting your proper vitamin D. You're not getting K2. You're not getting half of the vitamins that your body and your body's craving it. So you're starving yourself. Do you think that's good? I'm not saying don't be vegan. I'm saying learn how to eat. If you're going to choose a lifestyle, learn how to do it first. Don't just live it and think that you're doing it right. I worry all the time because I see people that struggle with their health that are vegan or vegetarian, or even people like, so my dietitian considers me a pescatarian. And it's because of what I eat. And I've always kind of come back to fish and chicken. Always. Because I've noticed differences. I stay away from pork. I don't eat pretty much any meat. I don't really like meat, like I said. But I know that my body needs certain vitamins. And I implement as much as I can. I've shown you guys the different things that I take, the millions of things that I implement into my body, because I want to make sure that my skin, my hair, my nails, my eyesight, everything is taken care of. And I would normally show you guys the other one, which is my collagen, but the phone's kind of leaning on it. So you just got to trust me that my collagen is there. I take the Youth Theory, and it has biotin in it as well. And a lot of you are going, oh, I see that you take a vitamin D and K2. What? Don't you eat meats and things that have things like that in there? So the reason that I take the K2 and D3 is because I don't think a lot of people get enough K2. And then also the D. So like D3 specifically, it's usually from the sun. And I don't get enough sunshine. I don't get out very often, mostly because I'm getting older and I don't want to sit in the sun. So with that said, I've got to implement, right? So you've got to find ways to balance things. And I even take a CoQ10 that I like quite a bit because it helps the focus and it kind of just it boosts my day. So I eat healthy. And according to my dietitian and everything she's seeing on my charts, I'm a really rare person. She says a lot of people don't exercise like I do. A lot of people don't eat the way that I do. And she's like, you just know. She's like, it's like, you know that our bodies need these things. And she's like, how? Like, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, oh, it took me years. I mean, I've exercised my whole life. I think it's just built in me. I've always loved exercise. But as far as like the implementing the vitamins, the supplements, the minerals, and all that stuff, it's taken time. Like, I've always had a multivitamin, as far as I can remember, and sometimes I've implemented vitamin C, which I've been told is good. It's really good for us to have vitamin C. And it's a boost. It's a booster. Vitamin C is a good booster for our immune system as well as our hair, skin, and nails. Don't know if you guys know that. And it also is a good support system as far as that goes. Same with vitamin E, which is why I started implementing vitamin E just kind of recently. Because it's also something that helps support the other things that I'm taking. They help each other along. Sorry, I didn't realize how tired I look today. I am very tired. It's been a rough couple days. But if you guys have questions, I am not a doctor. I am not any kind of medical professional. I am simply a person in school for dietary and nutritional purposes only. And I only know what I've experienced, learned, and been told by certified dietitians, nutritionists, doctors, and practitioners, nurse practitioners. So these are things that I've experienced on my own and had to learn on my own with doctors and people's help. And I'm just passing it to you guys. And honestly, get out there. Get a full blood panel done. Look and see what's going on. Learn about your body. Listen to your body. It's telling you things. If you don't feel good all the time, if you're always struggling emotionally or mentally, I know it sounds whack, guys, but it could be your diet. And if you're eating processed foods, stop. You can go to the store and you can spend, and stop making excuses and saying that it's cheaper to go to McDonald's. That is a load. It is like $15 for a freaking meal at McDonald's or a freaking Burger King or a Wendy's or a Popeye's chicken. Do you know what I mean? Where you can go to the grocery store for $15 and you could buy yourself a couple meals. You really could. You could buy yourself a pack of mushrooms, a pepper, an onion. You could buy yourself some asparagus. You could buy some Brussels sprouts. You could buy yourself some apples. You could buy whatever, and you could make meals out of it. Or you go to the freezer section, get some of those flash frozen veggies. You can get like a few bags of those for only like $5, and then you just get some proteins and just mix it, or some rice. Like, get a single bag of rice. There you go, 5-pound bag of rice, which is that, like $5, and then you get like a protein of some sort. So if you're smart like I am, and you kind of pay attention to people's cells, like I just noticed that Target, for instance, just had a buy one get one on their ground beef, I believe it was, and they also had it on their turkey. And so you do it, you grab them, because then you're paying like $5 for 2 pounds, you know. And then or you look for if you're a vegan, you need to look for a good protein food of some sort. So I personally have noticed when it comes to vegan proteins and substitutes of things that a lot of them are just really super high in sodium. They're super processed. I just don't recommend a lot of them, guys. I've tried to do research. I've spoken to a lot of professionals, as well as read many things on professionals, and some professionals have found a couple things that are good. Like I love Kjorn. There's a brand called Kjorn. But the downfall again is they have a lot of bad stuff in there. So if you have sensitivities, they're going to mess with you. Like I can't eat them anymore, and I used to love that brand. Yeah, I'm trying to think of something. Tofu. That is what I'm going to recommend. Tofu. I'm going to recommend tofu. I'm going to recommend soy milk. I'm going to recommend edamame. I'm going to recommend chia seeds, hemp seeds. That is what I'm going to recommend to you for proteins. Lentils. Yeah, beans. Yeah, I'm not going to recommend what you want me to recommend. So it's because that stuff's trash and you shouldn't be eating it. And it's harsh. Like I see people all the time that just don't eat right. And I understand that people want convenience, but when you're conveniently putting yourself in a hospital bed because of that convenience, then where are you? Eating and taking care of your body is the most important thing. And whether you know it or not, there are people that want you here and need you here. And I need you to remember that you are important. You are important to you. You are important to me. You are important to somebody else in your life, or multiple people, let alone maybe animals. Like, people rely on people. We all, whether we like it or not, we still love people we may not love all the time. Like maybe we can just take a little of them, you know, but we still care, right? So I just take care of yourselves. And please take this advice to heart, because I really want you to know that it's okay to have doubts. It's okay to go, no, this is going to work for me. Give it time. And maybe you don't have a gluten problem. Maybe it's a lactose issue. Or maybe you're having issues like I am with those weird sunflower oils and weird lectins and the soy lectin and the everything else that's weird in our foods that are processed. Like, it's so sad because some of the foods that I used to love eating, I've had to completely, even though I thought in my head they're mostly natural. The only thing that's processed is it's gone through like a weird drying cycle, or it's been pressed in a machine, or it's been, you know what I mean? And I found that they did indeed add to a lot of products. I mean, they'll add preservatives. And those preservatives sometimes can alone cause health issues and gut issues. And before I let you guys go on the whole gut thing and the gluten thing and just everything else, you can take care of your gut health and your microbiome, keeping it going and keeping it flowing naturally. I'm not going to throw out a whole bunch of cells, whatever's out there at you guys. I'm not. You guys know I drink Amazing Grass. That is my personal thing. It is a pre and probiotic. I like their immune. Love their immune. Specifically the elderberry one. If you guys like the taste of Tang, do you remember Tang? Or if you are LDS, I know that a lot of LDS people will get stuff from the Bishop's Warehouse, and they get that orange drink. I remember as a kid drinking that. At a friend's house or something once, and it was just, yeah, anyways, so orange drink, that's what the other one is tangerine, I think, and that's what the other immunity one tastes like, is that. I'm not a big fan of it. I went to the elderberry. It's a little bit bitter, but I like it to mix with. I also love their detox ones. Their detox ones are really great, but there are so many brands and companies out there that make different pre/probiotics, and you can buy them separate, take them separate. I take a 2-in-1. I also take I think it's a prebiotic soda, the Olippops. I love Olippops, and I drink one of those every night after dinner. I found, for me, and it might just be me, but I found that it helps my digestion. It helps me break things down. Just like for desserts, I love to have dessert every night. Like a lot of people will just do ice cream, which I do often. I do like my protein ice creams, but I do what I call my protein bowls, and it's just a yogurt bowl. And it just depends on my macros that day, what I have that I can eat. And that's when I'll spoil myself. So once or twice a month, I will eat something that's got like the soy lecithin or something in it, but I don't eat it often. I space it way, way, way out. And it's only because it's like I'll treat myself to like a protein cake or a protein something, and it'll have it in there. There's a company called Good Made, I believe, or Made Good. They're pretty decent, and Bobo's. You don't find all that trash in them. They're a lot healthier options, whole grains, gluten-free. Just like a lot of the things that I've kind of fallen into. Magic Spoon's gluten-free, but they're expensive. So I understand if a lot of people can't get that as far as a gluten-free cereal. But you'll notice a lot of cereals out there are gluten-free. Like Cheerios, they have a protein cereal that we bought for a while. Their cinnamon one, and it's gluten-free. And they actually support the Celiacs Foundation on there. So it's kind of impressive. And then just recently, we went out to go to a place that's called Curry Pizza. I think, if I remember correctly, they had been mentioned on Guy Fieri's The Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives series. And anyways, it's called Curry Pizza, and Guy was on there. Gosh, he's all over their walls, signed stuff. But we went in there because I've been looking for places that are gluten-free, and they have a cauliflower crust. And when we walked in, this is honestly, out of all the places and all the time since I've been gluten-free, this is the only time I've ever been anywhere, and they've been like, cauliflower crust. Is this because personal choice or medical? And I said both. And he says, okay. And he changes his gloves, and he goes back, and he grabs a special pizza, puts it on its own little paddle, separate from everything else, and takes all my ingredients from a place that was magical, away from all the gluten, just in case there was any cross-contamination, because there's no way it's going to happen in their restaurant. I was blown away. Like, yes, please. Yes, we need more of you. Thank you, Curry Pizza. You're amazing. We need more places like you. More places that are aware of people's health problems. We need to be aware of these things. We know people that have, I personally know 5 people that have celiacs. So that tells me that celiacs is pretty big. It's like not a tiny little deal, let alone people like me who have thyroid issues that have gluten deficiencies because of the thyroid issue. Something you should get checked out, like I said. And we need people to care. We do, because these people that have celiacs, they get cross-contamination. Even this tiniest amount of cross-contamination, and they are down. They can die, you guys. Like, I've seen these people and what they go through. It's disgusting. It's not fair. Like, your poor body. And it's, okay. Getting off that. I'm sending my love out to all y'all celiacs people and all you thyroid issue people, all the people out there with autoimmune deficiencies. I'm sending my love. And to everybody else, love y'all. Love you. I hope that this reaches somebody and it helps somebody. And if you know somebody that this could benefit, please share it. And as always, I love y'all. Stay foxy. Stay beautiful. Take care of yourself. I love you. Crimson out.